Okay, I just wanted to give a little strawing update. We started strawing last Monday and today is Sunday evening, so I would say this would be a full week. As you can see, we haven't gotten it all done yet. I would say on the total of what we got to do right now, I would say we're 50% done. And so those onions right there, those are the red Creole onions. That's row 4. So row 1 and rows 5 through 10 all have straw in them about 2/3 of the way down. So let me go down to the other side and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, this is the arbitrary line that we decided to stop. The reason is that's where the potatoes stopped. And that was the first real row that we did. So we just stopped there and we just continued them all the way across. So like row 8, which is 3 rows in, that has Texas white onions. Those onions go all the way down. So some of those onions are having to fend for themselves right now. And so on and so forth. And then this is about what we need to do when we get done with the top part. So it's about 2/3, 1/3. And so none of these have been done. And when I was weeding before we got the straw, some of these I was able to get every time, some of them not. So here's our leeks right here. And as you can see, the weeds are as tall as the leeks are. So this is going to be extremely fun to try to weed. But the good thing is we just have to do it once. And then we shouldn't have to deal with it anymore. Now, one thing is we're using significantly less straw than what I thought we were going to use. I thought we were going to need to use like 150 bales or something between this and the other stuff that we got to do. And if we continue to put the straw the way it is now, it looks like this section, which is about 4,500 square feet, 3,500, something like that. It's 10 rows of about 77 feet long. So somebody can go do the math. That is, I think that's going to take about 50 bales total. And we've used, hold on a second. So if my Chris Johnson math is correct, then I think we've used about 20 bales. Chris Johnson math's an inside joke. We had a friend of ours and we would play games that would involve money, and somehow he would be able to subtract and add at whim. So if he needed something to be positive, he would make it positive even if it wasn't. So whenever you get funny math, I just always call it Chris Johnson math. And so coming down here real quick, this is between rows 3 and rows 4. So of course none of this has been done yet. And I wanted to look at some of these elephant garlic, because these things are starting to get pretty big. Let me see if I can figure out how tall these things are. So these right here, right in front of me, are about 3 feet tall. We had about 1.5 dozen of what we call them onion elephant garlics, which elephant garlic is they build the bulb, and then once the bulb gets to a certain size, then it starts cloving out. So until you get to that point, the entire garlic is just one clove, and it in essence looks like an onion, so we just call them onion garlic. So I think that's about where those were planted. But as far as the garlic is concerned, almost every single one of them have come up. And this was the very first thing that I strawed, which was last Monday. And it doesn't look like the garlic is having issue with any of the straw. And then the potatoes and the beets. Hold on, let me go over there. We did this on Tuesday, and the beets and the potatoes look like they're doing really good too. And I was putting my finger through the straw earlier to see if the dirt was moist, because the dirt, as I was pulling the weeds up, especially in the upper part here, was like dry to where you touch it and it would, turn to dust type deal. And so I was feeling where the beet row here, and it's still moist. And the way I have the system, the irrigation system up, the last time this was irrigated was Friday morning. And this will get irrigated in the morning, because I have this zone, which is zone 2, to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then zone 1, which is pretty much just garlic and onions only. I have that Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And so the fact that it can be moist and still not have run for 2 days is really good, because it has not rained. So nature did not provide any extra moisture. And so that's good. And we have sandy soil, so just on the off chance that it's getting a little bit too much water, that is not going to hurt it, because it'll just drain down and it's not going to pond up here. So I think that's about it. And all right, had to sneeze there for a second. I'm not allergic to wheat or anything, but I guess when you're around this much of it, I guess anybody would be allergic to wheat to a certain degree. But no, this is very slow, very painful, but it is actually working. And we've had several people, both in comments and real life people, friends of ours, say that yes, it's a pain doing this, but it'll be worth it at the end. So I'm going with that logic until proven otherwise. But worst case scenario, we might have to add a little bit more straw here and there. But we had 125 bales, and it looks like, if we don't include where the watermelons and the pumpkins and all that's going to be, it looks like we're going to use about 75 bales, at least as of right now. So we're still going to have a lot of them left. And so today's the last cool day. I was in the mid 70s today, and we had light breeze and a little bit of cloud cover. And I also wanted to say that this thing, my little contraption here, is working really well. This is what this is for. This is the timer for the irrigation system. Said that it needed to be in shade, because otherwise it would reduce the life of it. And so obviously there's no shade right here. So we got a 90% tarp or canvas or awning or whatever you want to call it. And then I just built a little PVC frame around it. And so I had to order these on Amazon. And then these I just got at a local hardware store. And then I still had some cement left from when I did the main pipe. So I just used that. So it was not that expensive. I'm supposed to put anchors down, but until that time, I'll just have the CMU blocks here. And so far it's been good. So anyway, done rambling, but I just wanted to give an update and saying slowly but surely it's coming together, and it's making the garden look vastly different.